Molo Sanbonani, hello, how's it? Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's the Thursday edition of Vuka Nazo, your morning news analysis show. My name is Sihle Ngobese, aka Big Daddy Liberty. Welcome to it. Remember, your only price of admission here at Vuka Nazo is to hit that like button. That's right, do it right now. Whether you're watching this simulcast on Facebook or on YouTube, hit that like button and share the stream, please. Now remember, if you're watching on YouTube in particular, guys, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification so that you're notified every weekday from 7 a.m. when we're on your screens. Guys, if you're looking to support the work that we do here, which is basically advocating for liberty ideas and shutting out those terrible commie and socialist ideas that have wrecked this country, then support the work financially. Anything between 50 to 100 Rand a month, 75 Rand is about the average that we do per person per month. And you can do that, of course, by finding us and a payment method rather on our website at bigdaddyliberty.com. With that being said, enough with the jibber jabber. Let's get straight into the news. All right, it was, of course, the tail end of a long weekend, made a long weekend, of course, by the public holiday on Tuesday, that is Human Rights Day. Now, leave aside the shenanigans of Monday with the shutdown by the EFF, which ended up being a massive flop. Yes, a massive flop, as you could see. Indeed, those were the sort of scenes that were seen across the country. The EFF in quite a bit of trouble, and Malema exposed rather amusingly in the shutdown. But nonetheless, we'll cover that on Sunday's Liberty and Friends at 8 p.m. Look forward to that as we unpack this and more issues with the Friends panel. That's Sunday, Liberty and Friends at 8 p.m. But I want to come back to today's story, which is the Human Rights Day event held in Dar, where the President of the Republic, A1 Cyril Ramaphosa, was speaking, effectively addressing the crowds there. Now, he said a whole bunch of things around how his government absolutely respects human rights. But nonetheless, also taking a swipe at the EFF's failed shutdown. But the interesting thing he said, for me at least, at this particular Human Rights Day event was this around social grants.
Just over 2.5 million people are receiving social grants. We're receiving social grants in 1999. Reverend Nissan, you will be pleased to know that whilst in 1999 there were only 2.5 million people, today over 18 million people are now receiving these grants, which means that we are respecting the rights of South Africans.
Sadly, the audience in that crowd sort of clapping for that nonsense, because people have basically given up, especially the ANC, have given up on creating a free, prosperous, non-racial and property-owning society. You see that in how they view opportunity for people. They actually don't want you to have economic opportunity that is independent of the government. These are politicians who basically want you to be fully dependent on the state, both in the way of them controlling you and also in the way of them making you a dependent of them. It is a toxic notion, one that we must destroy. Poverty should never be managed via a welfare state. Oh no, which creates, of course, dependency and makes people slaves of the state. Instead, we should be beating poverty by building this economy, building this nation through a free market, people trading to create income, whether that trade is by way of a job, them trading their labor in order to get income, or them trading their skills and knowledge and creating businesses. That is how you beat poverty. That is how you begin to grow the wealth of the country, indeed distribute income and see more people escaping poverty, creating wealth and lifting people out of poverty. Enough with the toxic leftist nonsense. All right, I take you now to Megawatt Park, indeed the head offices of Eskom, which now has, as you'll know, another minister, one minister of electricity, Ramokgopa, of course, who's just recently appointed by Cyril Ramaphosa. He's the Minister of Electricity. Bzz. Gosh, I just have this image of him sort of running out of Eskom saying, "It's alive! It's alive!" With sparks of electricity as the Eskom zombie rises out of its that lab. But nonetheless, jokes aside, because the story is a bit of a joke in how it reads. The Minister of Electricity, Minister Ramokgopa, of course, saying, oh no, the issues as he does this tour of Eskom power plants, as he assesses them, the issues, he says, are not corruption, but rather technical ones. You know, forget that corruption and all that boo-boo evil stuff. You guys, stop being negative about the ANC government. It's not corruption, it's technical difficulties. This is what he had to say about it.
Well, I did make the point that when I was appointed, when I was asked this question about the alleged corruption in Eskom, I said, give me an opportunity to go and engage at the station level so that I have an appreciation of the manifestation of corruption, if it does indeed exist. So all I know is that the problems with regards to the challenges that we have had here, these are technical problems. They have nothing to do with the so-called corruption. I'm going to meet Labour. I'm sure they'll raise other issues. But from the issues that they've been raised with me with regards to the units that have gone out as a result of the structural integrity of the chimney and the issues around the design component of FGDs have nothing to do with corruption. Everything to do with technical designs. There's significant modifications that they are making, and I'm very happy with the modifications that they are proposing. So no, here, at least on the version of management and the conversations we have had of the 5 units that are out of operations have nothing to do with the corruption, but everything to do with the technical designs. And we are correcting those designs so that they don't get to recur going into the future.
That's right. This is what the Minister of Electricity, of course, who's rather new on the job, I'll give him that, but rather ignorant with that being said, because there is a mountain of evidence around just how corrupt and fundamentally corrupt the institution of Eskom is. Indeed, the former CEO of Eskom went out with a bang, exposing just how corrupt and corrupted the institution of Eskom is. With Derator, as you'll remember, pointing out that the corruption goes all the way to the top from a political leadership perspective, all the way through the management structure, even to lower echelon staff who effectively are colluding with Eskom cartels, people who are making R1 billion a month, he pointed out. The Minister of Electricity says, oh no, that's not happening. The biggest issue, as he says, are technical, but nonetheless, let me read from this EWN piece which wrote the story up and also pointed out exactly what I am pointing out, saying that the minister's claim comes despite the State Capture Commission's report, which detailed the rot at the power utility and how it entered into an almost 15 billion rand worth of dodgy contracts, for example, with the Govt family. Several reports from the Auditor General have also stated that irregular expenditure, fruitless and wasteful costs, and losses due to criminal conduct had brought the power utility to its knees. End of quote. Now again, it almost begs belief that this guy is a minister of this portfolio, which again, the position itself is completely unnecessary. It is just a total waste. And when you then listen to this guy say this kind of asinine stuff, as he's saying now, presumably also as he says, he's told this by the management of Eskom, then he's a fool. Because he's either being dribbled by that same management of Eskom, or he's complicit in trying to dribble South Africans in that same nonsense. Now, here's the thing. Eskom, I'll say it once, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. To truly get out of the mess that we're in as South Africa, Eskom has to be completely broken up, with each power plant being a separate entity that generates electricity, to which, because they're now privatized, we invite other private sector companies to set up generating plants, whatever they may be. Screw what the hippies say. If the private company wants to provide or build another coal power plant, so be it. If it is an oil burning or a gas burning one, so be it. If it is a renewable energy one, absolutely, come one, come all. And mostly what I'd like to see is nuclear entering our base load much more. Come one, come all. Allow that generation of electricity to be done by private companies. And Eskom itself should maybe be nothing more as a transmission company, which may still be state-owned, I don't care at that stage. But the actual generation of electricity has to be privatized. So the South Africans won't be dribbled by a minister of electricity who himself is dribbled by seemingly individuals within Eskom who have no incentive to tell the truth around the extent of the trouble they're in. All right, that's it from this episode of Vuka Nazo, the Thursday edition of the show. Let me know what you thought of the content. Leave me a comment, please, whether you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube. And remember, as you exit, please hit that like button and share the stream. Have your friends watch the content and become fans of the show. And the best way to show that you're becoming a fan of the show is to subscribe to the channel. Help me reach my goal of 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. With that being said, thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow for what will be the Friday edition of the show. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow.